Gonna win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna win. You got to understand we're gonna win right now.
What's up? What's up, everybody? That's Coach Prime talking, saying I don't know if you know it, but we're gonna win. Listen.
I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna win. You got to understand we're gonna win right now. Not later.
Right now. Let me stop it right there. So this is the bottom line. This is why I titled this video the way I did, because there's been a lot of talk in the Pac-12. You've got coaches who do not want to go named that are talking and running their mouth. Then they're turning around saying how much they want to play Coach Prime in Colorado. Of course, we know that Coach Prime ain't backing down to nobody. He's ready to play these Pac-12 teams, has been noted. But they're doing a lot of talking behind the talk, because I think there's a lot of jealousy going on. As I said this before, I think you've got coaches in the Pac-12 that are saying things like, well, they're not going to really win. They're not really going to be as successful. There's a lot of hype right now around Coach Prime in Colorado. Of course, there's a lot of hype because he's actually changed the philosophy and the attitude of the program, and just his presence and the way he carries himself as a man. And I think those essence are rubbing off on people in the program. He's recruiting, okay, damn well. You've got young men that have been able to, if he has gotten them to flip from a school that they wanted to go to coming to Colorado. And I think there's a lot on the line. Yes, there is, because the game is about winning, as you heard Coach Prime saying. I don't know if you know it, but we're going to win right now. Let me remind you with the visual example of what he's talking about right here.
I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, look, this is what the Pac-12 is concerned about when it comes to Coach Prime in Colorado. The Pac-12 is concerned because they're concerned about a new man on the block who has the ability to get some of the best players in the country to commit to Colorado. And this is just his first year after turning this team around in terms of its personnel or its roster, right? Imagine what Coach Prime can do once he can really get his offense, his defense, and everything working and getting all gears, everything on cylinder. And then that will attract more recruits to want to come to Colorado if they can get this winning tradition back on the ground. This is what the Pac-12, when I say the Pac-12, we're talking about all the other teams, the USCs, the Arizonas, the Utahs, okay? The UCLAs, the Stanfords, the Kyle Berkeleys, all these teams that make up the Pac-12, they are concerned because this is a man who can not only recruit within California, but he can recruit nationally, and that's a very big concern. Now, people are questioning whether Coach Prime can win, whether what he's doing there is just a bunch of flash in the pants. I think that they can win right now, just as he said, because of what they have been able to assemble. And I think the other coaches in the Pac-12 are trying to psych Coach Prime out by doing all this underhanded talk behind the scenes. But I think Coach Prime is going to do his talking, if you notice, on the damn field. So let me show you some clips here, as I always do. I really want to emphasize a few things. I want to show you some things because this is another thing. Coach Prime, in my opinion, is also a threat for this reason. I'm going to put this up here. His NFL pedigree. He has connections to the NFL. A lot of these kids, this is why the Pac-12 in particular and those coaches in the Pac-12 are concerned. He has connections to the NFL. He can get coaches from the NFL to come work with his team or coach or consult, as he's just done by getting Pat Shermer. Okay, let me put Pat up here right now. This is what they're afraid of. Okay, he just brought this man in who used to be He used to coach with the New York Giants. And I'm going to get right. Look, his ability to get coaches, guys who coach in the NFL, who have NFL experience, his ability to have resources. Look, everybody in the country witnessed how good Coach Prime displayed himself at Jackson State and how he really turned that program around, gave him a lot of buzz. He didn't even have half of the resources that he now has at Colorado. He didn't have as many of the big pockets in Jackson State to be able to get the resources he need to really get the program turned around. He's got the resources. So now you put Prime with resources, opportunity, plus his ability to motivate young players, plus his ability to bring in really good coaches and players, plus his ability to have ex-football players, the Terrell Owens, the Jerry Rices. He can have these guys come to Colorado and give some inspiration and tutorage to some of the players he's got on this team. Okay? Because one of the things that I want to emphasize is I want to emphasize in this video today, when I talk about a Pat Schumer, you got to remember he is coming on board. This is what they are afraid of, ladies and gentlemen. This man has over 20 years of NFL experience. He's coming on board to work and consult as a part of the staff, and also get these young men at Colorado prepared for the next level, which is NFL level. That's right. And there's no other teams in the Pac-12. I'm talking about Pac-12, but specifically that have those kind of individuals that can really come into this team from an NFL mindset, okay, which is about winning. The NFL is about winning, and instill that upon the players while preparing them for the pros and consulting them on what they need to work on, because he coached for over 20 years in the pros. I think the Pac-12 coaches and the Pac-12 in general, they're really concerned not only about what Coach Prime could do with Colorado this year, but I think they're very concerned about how things will shape out going forward in the future. And I think they see the reality. Okay, if Coach Prime can turn a team around in terms of its roster in just 1 year, utilizing the transfer portal, of course, then what could he do with more time to build this program up? And I think they're concerned, and they're jealous, and they're hating, and they're talking. Now, let me give you this clip, right? Let me put this up here. This is what someone said. This is what they're concerned about, folks. This was a reporter, sports reporter in the Denver area, and he said this: I think that Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and his staff have been impressive so far after covering the Denver Broncos dumpsters fire the last few seasons. It is nice seeing how Sanders runs the operation. He's employing experienced and highly regarded assistants underneath him. And then he has shown a willingness to delegate to those assistants. Meanwhile, Prime has turned Colorado into a top recruiting destination as he builds the nation. This is interesting, to a #1 transfer class and a top 40 freshman class. As of this was back in December, when hiring to take over to reactivate the job outside of recruiting hotbed. He wants to turn it into a recruiting hotbed. I think Coach Prime is doing that. When he brings in someone like Pat Schumer, when he brings in Coach Pat from the NFL, this is a man who's got it all together. This is a man that can win. Okay, let me read something to you here. This is very important. Deion Sanders expects the ex-New York Giants coach, Pat Schumer, to coaching, to be a part of the coaching staff. Sanders is loading this coaching staff up with more NFL experience. This is what they're concerned about. The people that he will play that are concerned about Colorado in Coach Prime, that are doing all that chattering behind the scenes. Says here, Colorado will be looking for him to add to the culture of winning they are establishing offensively. Reed wrote this on Twitter, and I'm going to put his Twitter post up. And to give the players another resource in their pursuit to reach the NFL, you bring a man in here with those years of experience, over 20 years of NFL experience. And this is just one of many components of their concern. Let me put this tweet up right here if I can. Carl Reed Jr., they call him Coach Reed Live, says veteran NFL coach Pat Schumer has been on campus at Colorado this week. Prior sources have put it out there. He is expected to join the staff as an analyst moving forward. Schumer brings over 20 years of NFL coaching experience and was the AP NFL Assistant Coach of the Year in 2017. Then Twitter has been buzzing about this situation, folks. Twitter has been just buzzing all over. Okay, Coach Prime is building a great staff, looking at how many coaches Nick Saban has brought in as an analyst to give them a fresh start. Coach Prime is doing the same thing. I like how much experience his coaching staff has and how diverse at CU is building a great culture. And yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are building a great culture. I totally agree with those statements in that Twitter post. Another thing to look out for is that Coach Prime is really, like I'm going to say this again, he's a great motivator. This is what they're scared of again, folks. Let me let you know what the ranking is. We talk about where they rank. Where are they ranked as a team? Well, let's go into where is Coach Prime ranked in the Pac-12. This is what they're afraid of. Already, they have Colorado's coaching staff, or Coach Prime, ranked at number 7 in the Pac-12 amongst all the coaches. And even though I think he's, in my mind, from what I've seen so far, the way he motivates, I think he's the best, but you got to prove it on the field. There's no doubt about that. It has to be proven on the field, okay? But they got him ranked at number 7. I want you to let me know what you think about this ranking in the comment section of this video when you have a chance, okay? So Deion Sanders, 55th overall. You can make the argument that Colorado will be the most fascinating team in America this season using the transfer portal. Coach Prime completely transformed perhaps the worst Power 5 roster into a brand new team in just one off season. Whether it works remains to be seen. So that's the skepticism right there. But Colorado has a tough non-conference schedule with games against Nebraska, TCU, but there will be a lot of eyeballs staying up late this season to watch Coach Prime experiment to see if this whole thing's going to work. Colorado may not reap the benefits of Coach Prime's roster overhaul right away, but it could nevertheless be the team to watch in the Pac-12 going forward compared to last year. Now, this is what I got to say. Once again, I believe that Coach Prime in Colorado can win now. I think people are underestimating their roster moves that they've made, underestimating them, undervaluing them, and I think they can win now. However, they're right. People are going to watch this team because I think people want to see how does it all work. Okay, so they're going to be one of these teams in the country that there's going to be spotlight on them everywhere they go. Okay, so that's actually correct. But once again, the Pac-12 coaches, the Pac-12 itself, they are concerned because Coach Prime could be building a future power force in the Pac-12, okay? However they stay in the Pac-12 because, of course, there's rumors about whether they're going to go to the Big 12 or what have you, or whether they're going to stay in the Pac-12. But the point I'm making here is that I think these other coaches and teams are shaking in their boots because they're seeing the progression of something that they've never seen. Just like Kurt Herbstreit said, Colorado should be a case study. This has never been done in the history of college football in the way Coach Prime has assembled this team and has cut some of the players off this team that were just not living up to expectations. Okay, so let me go ahead and so this is their ranked number. He's ranked number 7 in the Pac-12 right now in terms of overall coaches in the Pac-12. You tell me if you agree with that ranking, if you think that it's a terrible ranking, what have you. Okay, but I want to move forward because I want to show you something else. Coach Prime knows that people have been talking about him in a sort of skeptic way, questioning whether they can win, questioning whether he's over his head and what have you. But this is what he said on his own. This is Coach Prime on his Instagram. This is a clip that I took from his Instagram. And this is what Coach Prime had to say. The change I speak of ain't about me. It's about you all. I'm a change agent. My calling is to bring people together that necessarily would not be together, to give an opportunity to the who's ever willing to speak the truth when a lie has been the normacy, to stand in the midst of the storm for what God has shown and told me, to build young men into real responsible men with character, okay, and reason. This is why they're mad, because when they look closely, they really understand it ain't about me. Wow. This is what I want to say. Coach Prime is really telling the truth here. So they're really jealous of what Coach Prime represents, but they're really jealous of the effect that he's having on his team, the effect he's having in Colorado, okay, the effect that he's going to have in the Pac-12. So he's saying they're not really mad at me. They're really mad at the Prime effect and what that means, okay? And they're concerned because he can take players away from, he can potentially get players to play at Colorado that either a UCLA, a Cal Berkeley, a Stanford, or even a UCLA or USC would normally be able to get these kind of players. He's going to compete. He's about competing. Let's go back to his statements again. I think they were very powerful. Coach Prime is talking about character that he looks for. He's building character. Okay, they really understand it ain't about me. It's about the multitude, and that's what they're afraid of. Okay, he's multi-dimensional as a coach. Okay, they're concerned about that. They're afraid of that. When he says here, when we build like-minded men and women, when we build like-minded men and women into nation, inequality, love, consistency, forgiveness, and understanding, that's why we call out to the smart, tough, fast, disciplined young men with character. Fast, disciplined young men with character. God said, start right there. You can't stop me from loving my team, and you cannot stop them from loving me back. I love them like they are all my sons. We're going to win, 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 win.
I don't know if you feel it, but we're going to win. I don't know if you can see it, but we're going to win. You got to understand we're going to win right now, not later. Right now. I don't know if y'all know it, but we're going to win.
This is what they're afraid of. The difference between Coach Prime and most of the coaches you see in the Pac-12 and in general across the country and the nation is that he truly sees his players as his sons. He talks to them as his sons. He treats them as sons. He commands respect. And I think there is a fear factor because he's changing. His relationship with his players is different. He doesn't just see his players as just a number, you see. He sees them as individual young men with discipline, character, strong character. And I think that they know that that's rubbing off on this whole team, which means they can go into a game with full confidence. So therefore, they've got to say something to try to see if they can bring them down by talking behind the bushes. Don't even want their names to be known, that they were the ones talking, because they don't want to give Colorado and Coach Prime bulletin board in the locker room to be able to motivate the players. You know why? Because they know that Coach Prime's players and Coach Prime and his staff are already motivated. I mean, he's already brought in Coach Pat from the NFL. And remember, who did he work with once upon a time, who's with Colorado right now? And that's Mike Zimmerman. Remember Mike Zimmerman? Mike Zimmerman was the head coach in Minnesota in the NFL. And now he's become a part of the staff at Colorado, but he was with Coach Prime back when he was in Jackson State. And he's come over to work with Coach Prime and the team in sort of a analyst role as well. And him and Pat have worked together. Pat was a part of his staff. So what you have here is you've got a great, you have NFL type coaching talent. So Coach Prime is not only putting together a good team for the future and now, but he's put together a great staff. That's dangerous to these other Pac-12 teams who see the writing on the wall that they've got another team that's coming up behind the dust that's gonna fight for something. Let's not deny that. I want to show you something else. Okay, this is what they're afraid of again, right here. Did you know that Colorado is currently ranked third in the Pac-12, combined the highest high school and transfer portal recruiting ranking in 2023 and 21st in the nation? So they're the third. Colorado is third in the Pac-12 in combined high school and transfer portal recruits. So they're third in the Pac-12. They have the third best recruiting class in the Pac-12. And in the nation, they're ranked 21st in the nation. This is 24/7 Sports, who I quote here saying, I think it's Coach Prime effect. Didn't I say that before? They are afraid of the Coach Prime effect, ladies and gentlemen. National recruiting editor, this was from Brandon Huffman, the national recruiting editor at 24 Sports. Sanders has proven success at every level that he's been a part of, and that is definitely the truth. I want to put it back up here again as a reminder. Nationwide Colorado 2024 recruiting class is now ranked. So the class that's coming in 2024, Colorado is already ranked right now for the 2024 class, and that's going to go up. They're ranked at number 30, 24/7 Sports, 4 spots ahead of Nebraska. In case you were wondering, Coach Prime also currently owns one of the deepest 2024 classes in the Pac-12 on the heels of a 2023 group that ranks number 5 in the conference. This is why they are concerned about Coach Prime. This is why they're talking, because they know the writing's on the wall that they're coming. We're coming. Colorado's coming. Step by step by step by step. And that's why they're talking crap, trying to say, oh, they can't win, trying to play the game, but they're concerned about what's really coming. How many did you know that they were ranked? They have the 5th best recruiting class within the Pac-12 for 2024 right now. This is what they're concerned about, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Prime has got these Pac-12 coaches shaking in their boots at night, up late at night saying, we're going to have to prepare for where this goes. Coach Prime he's doing the damn thing. And we're not going to, you can't get away from it. They can try to, but they can't, ladies and gentlemen. They just can't. Once again, Coach Prime is a winner. He's a proven winner. He's been through the ups and downs in his life, going all back to his playing days. When he came back, and thank God he's recovered from his situation with his growing, the blood clots that he had in his growing and in his legs and his body. But when he came back, I want you to see this video clip that I'm going to show you. It shows you that this is a man that knows how to win. He knows how to motivate, has a skill set. Listen to this. This is him talking. They're talking, and they show a clip where Coach Prime, when he was in the NFL, when he would make some mistakes here and there, but then he picked that ball up every time he dropped it on the ground and ran it right back for a touchdown. That he's an unmovable man. Watch this.
But then you come back like that clip I sent you a few days ago. And that's the first punt return. You drop the thing, you pick it up and go score. And you know everybody in the stadium want to stop you. What mindset do you have to be in to do that?
Hey, that reminds me of who I was. I ain't give a damn who was at the game. How many was at the game. I figured everybody can see.
You had Coach Prime saying that I was him, I was that man, I was that player. And he says, I didn't give a damn. He said he didn't give a damn about who was at the game. He was just going to play through any mistakes that he made. And see, that's what he's going to instill. And that's what he's already been instilling with these players on this football team. He is not an ordinary coach or ordinary man. And that's what they're afraid of. Oh, yeah. Plus relationship, how he talks to his players. This one is with his son, Shador, who's his quarterback. They're forgetting Shador is ranked the number 8th quarterback in the Pac-12. Should be higher, in my opinion. We'll see how this all pans out. But we forget his relationship. Check out his relationship with his son, who's going to be the head helm of this team at quarterback. Coach Prime, when you see this video, he knows how to relate to the players. He knows how to keep things loose, serious, but loose. This is why I think they're going to win, because he keeps things tight in terms of practice and discipline and what he expects from them. But he also knows how to have time when he can joke with his players within, constraints. And you need that. You need to have the human element and treat your players as people, not just machines on a football field. Check this out. I think this was funny.
They informed on you today, too, partner. Hey, look, at the end of the day, I stand on business. At the end of the day, that's what I do. I stand on business. If I had to redo anything and do it again, I wouldn't.
Why don't you shave? Redo that.
How about you get a haircut?
Oh, you said I had too long?
Roller coaster.
Get off for it.
Look at that.
Easy on the foot spots.
That's Jimmy Horn Jr. right there. Nice,
Easy on
nice.
that foot, man. That's all.
Easy on that foot.
Easy.
Fantastic. Now, let me also talk about this one. Now, this young man was committed to Colorado several months ago. He is one of the first young men that Coach Prime has recruited for the 2025 class. I believe he's a wide receiver. This is Winston Watkins Jr. Let me put him up here. And I don't know if you know this, but he's actually the cousin, ladies and gentlemen, the cousin of Sammy Watkins. Remember Sammy Watkins? I think he played his college football at Clemson. He played with Buffalo, played with Kansas City for a period of time. Of course, the Ravens. this is his cousin, his little cousin right here, who has already committed to Colorado and has already said out of his own mouth. And I think this article came out about this not too long ago. That the 2025 commitment of Winston Watkins Jr. sees a bright future at Colorado. Okay, I want you all to see what he does on the field. Just a little nice clip of the young man. Okay, this is very nice. Now, this is what he also said here. The 2025 five-star wide receiver may be a couple of years away from arriving on campus, but he believes that if head coach Deion, this is why they are afraid, ladies and gentlemen, of Colorado, because this young man you see on these beautiful clips says that he believes that if Coach Prime can lead Colorado to a bowl game this fall, Colorado will have enough talent in the pipeline to get even bigger as a program. I think that's powerful what this young man has just said, y'all, that he would make those kind of statements, because that's usually how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you're able to win, go to bowl games, these young players are looking at the bowl games that you go to, how involved you are in the off season, the postseason, right? And the young man said out of his own mouth, and he said, if Coach Prime can get to a bowl game, the program can only get bigger and bigger. And he's looking forward to sky's the limit when he's able to get there in 2025. This is very important, everybody. And I really appreciate you listening to this video, everything that I've put together and I've said to you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell notification. Share this video in all your social media. If you're a content creator, share it in your community tab, because I definitely would appreciate it. But these are the points I wanted to go over. These are the reasons why I believe that the Pac-12, and maybe even teams in the nation, but particularly the Pac-12, and the coaches in the Pac-12 are concerned about Colorado. All the intangible things that I have brought up to you, and there's even a lot more out there that's going on. With that said, everybody, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and you take care. Peace.